Hello everybody, this is Wormlight Tarot. Welcome to today's reading. This will be a tarot reading for career and life purpose. So we will look at your hidden strengths as well as energy surrounding any opportunities for a fulfilling career or a purpose in life, and what would be suitable for you in terms of a work environment, what you feel called to do, anything that the cards show us. As usual, this is a general reading, so please only take in those messages that resonate with you and leave out the rest, okay? We have 3 piles of cards here. Pile number 1 is Smoky Quartz. Pile number 2 is Spectrolite, and pile number 3 is Moonstone. So now I will let you have a few moments alone without me talking with these cards so you can see which one you feel most drawn to. Hello, pile number 1. You chose this piece of Smoky Quartz. And here are your cards. Let's have a look. So the first 3 cards that I pulled represent your energies, you as a person. So we have the 2 of Swords, 7 of Wands, and 9 of Pentacles. With the 2 of Swords, I feel like you are someone who is very peaceful and harmonious even in turbulent situations. You even have this sense of guardedness about you, but it can be a good thing because you don't let small things bother you, and there can be a chaos around you, but you still have this sense of inner peace to yourself. Having said that, I do feel like you may enjoy a competitive environment because the 7 of Wands is about competition, and it's like this very active card for going after what you want. The 7 of Wands tells me that you want to be number 1 and you want to excel. So I think these two are a very good combination in a way that, you really want to go after your dreams and you want to work for it, and you're not afraid of competition. And this 2 of Swords gives you that, sense of calm and peacefulness that I feel like it may actually scare other people because you don't seem that bothered by competition. And the 9 of Pentacles tells me that you are quite self-sufficient and independent, and I feel like you work on things by yourself. Like if you have a dream, you don't expect anybody to hand it to you, but you do the work yourself. You're very kind of controlled and self-reliant person. And that makes you a very strong person. That's the idea I get from you, like very independent, self-reliant, very strong, not afraid of small things. There is a sense of guardedness about you, so I feel like there could be a soft heart within all this kind of tough. So you have a tough exterior, and inside you get to have a kind of soft heart. But people may not see that about you, they just see your independent go-getter side, okay? So then I looked at situations that you may excel in, and kind of like where you flourish, kind of opportunities to take, where and when is your time to shine. So these cards represent those energies. We have the Two of Pentacles, Five of Cups, and Five of Wands here. And again, I have to apologize. If you follow my videos, I've probably said this a few times already, but if you're new here, just want to say that I'm sorry about these cards being very smudged, because the back sides are black, and when they're piled like this, they always get dirty, and I try to clean them, but every single time I have to do it again. So I've just stopped physically cleaning these cards because it just takes so much time. I hope you're okay with that. So anyway, so we have two number twos here. We have the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. This tells me that you are someone who is quite balanced and harmonious. Maybe you have two jobs, or you would excel in an environment where you are required to multitask, or where there's a lot going on, because you are able to juggle different aspects of work environment, work assignments, or different aspects of your life in a very efficient way. I think you're good at multitasking. Then we have two number fives here. Fives can be a challenge, can be a card of challenge. So I feel like you may excel in a situation that are challenging. Like with the Five of Cups, I feel like with this kind of go-getter wand energy, very fire energy, you could bring a lot of clarity and optimism into lives of people who are feeling down. So maybe you could excel as a counselor or a psychologist, because there's this discernment needed in situations like this where things have gone wrong, but you could point them towards the right direction of, looking at the future. The present may be depressing and sad, but look into the future, look at all the good opportunities, look at everything that you still have left in your life. You may have all these other cups are spilled here and broken, but you still have these two cups here. So I feel like you could use your strength to help people in that way. And with the Five of Wands, I kind of feel like because this is a card of it's also a card of competition and conflict, but in a different way from the Seven of Wands. It kind of looks like a schoolyard, doesn't it? These are some kids or teenagers who are just kind of playing and maybe even arguing a little bit, but it's nothing serious. So I feel like you could be someone who also excels in a situation where a common goal is needed. Maybe these wands represent arguments and differences of opinion, and you, with your strong sense of self, could bring that authority into this situation, and your leadership. You could lead all these people. And also what I said about this looking like a schoolyard, so maybe you could also excel as a teacher or a guidance counselor, someone who kind of helps kids or teenagers with their problems. Because I feel like you would, like I said about you excelling in this competitive environment, or maybe a chaotic environment even. So I feel like, schools and colleges, universities, they can be an environment like that, but I feel like you wouldn't be bothered by that, but actually your, sense of self and, your inner strength could be beneficial in that environment. I also pulled 2 oracle cards to provide some more information, and the first one is a card called Solar, and it corresponds to the sun in tarot cards. So, like I said, you have a very strong sense of self, and I feel like you are, despite what I said about you maybe having this tough exterior, I do feel like you are a warm person. Someone that, people like, for example, like kids, if you'd be a teacher or something like that, or if you were a psychologist or a counselor, something like that, people could actually like rely on you, and you bring a lot of light and strength into their lives, because you have this warm, strong, sunny personality about you. And the other oracle card that I pulled is called Stillness. So I kind of feel like, with all of these other cards being pretty strong, you also need time to reflect and contemplate in your life. So maybe like every time there's like a weekend arrives, it would be good for you to get away for a while and spend some time alone, because I do feel like you are a person who gives a lot to other people. Maybe you even neglect yourself sometimes, so it would be good for you to balance all that with some time for yourself and with some inner work, because I feel like you need it after all this, after social interaction. And while you may excel in a very kind of busy, chaotic situation with a lot of people, with a lot of stuff going on, you still need stillness to kind of gather your strength and to be more balanced in life and as yourself. So, part number 1, that was your reading for, career and your purpose in life. I really hope that this reading provided some clarity to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 2. You chose this piece of Spectrolite. And here are your cards. So let's have a look. So the first cards that I pulled represent your energies, like who you are at this point in time, where you are in life, and aspects that you may not know about yourself. So we have the 3 of Swords, 9 of Cups, and King of Cups. So the 3 of Swords tells me that you've gone through a lot in life. Like, it could be an actual heartbreak that you come from, or something else that really kind of shook your world. Maybe you come from a tough background, like maybe your childhood was less than ideal. But I feel like you have learned, and you are someone who grows through hardships. So you understand that, painful things are a life lesson, and you learn from them. And I feel that way particularly since we have the 9 of Cups here, which is a card of fulfillment. So I feel like you are not afraid of dreaming of a better future for yourself, and maybe you've actually achieved something, nice for yourself, since this is kind of like a wish card. So like anything you wish, you can get it. So maybe there's actually something that, despite your past being less than ideal, you've achieved something in your life that you are very happy about. Like maybe you have kids, or maybe you are in your dream school or something like that. With the King of Cups, I feel like since it's a card of maturity, you are someone who is very kind of emotionally connected and mature, like I said. So whatever you dream about, they're not only about, you just keeping or just living in your head and keeping those dreams to yourself, but you're actually someone who works on those dreams. You want them to manifest, you want to live those dreams. It's also a card of like understanding yourself and others deeply, so I feel like you have this sense of understanding about you and where you come from. So I do get a very kind of strong impression from you, especially on your, like in terms of emotions and spiritual beliefs, and that stems from learning from past experiences. The next 3 cards that I pulled represent, energies that like surround you in terms of like opportunities to take and possible careers, situations where you could excel in. So we have the 5 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, and 2 of Cups here. So with the 5 of Pentacles here, I feel like because of your past or because of your earlier hardships, you are able to help people in need because you know what they've gone through. So it could be like working as a counselor, or maybe working in a religious or spiritual setting, or maybe an NGO or something to do with like bettering the world in a way. I feel like when you learn through tough experiences, then you are in a better position to help other people than if you've just had the perfect life until then, or like until you graduating and starting a job or something like that. So I feel like you could really offer something to people who are depicted in this card. You can be their strength and security. With the 4 of Pentacles, well, 4s represent stable foundations. It can also be a little like this card of stinginess and kind of stuckness, stagnation, but in this situation I kind of don't feel like it's a bad thing, because it's being crowned by the 9 of Cups, which is a dreamer card. So I feel like if you have your head in the clouds, it would benefit you to have something stable and traditional to build your life on. So maybe that would be like a steady career, something that kind of keeps you busy and kind of gives you that income to always be okay, and something that even if you would have bigger dreams, it would be more beneficial to start from the stable point, maybe save money, be frugal for a while before going after like bigger dreams that you may have on your mind, things that you may have dreamed about for ages. The Pentacles kind of tells me here that could be also work related to the financial sector, but on the other hand I don't feel like you would feel comfortable in this very cutthroat financial world, but rather in maybe like, you know, there are like these community loans, you know, like these small loans, I don't remember what they're called, but like microloans, I think, something like that. Financial sector that benefits the community and benefits like actual, you know, people in their everyday lives, rather than like this, like a big banking sector or something like that. And then we have the Two of Cups here. Well, it's a card of love and attraction, so I feel like you could use your in-depth skills, like emotional maturity here of the King of Cups, as a help to be like a relationship counselor or a family counselor or something like that. Or because it's a card of attraction and harmony, maybe you could excel as a life coach as well, like for people who want to change. Maybe on the realm of relationships particularly, but also in other sectors in life, like maybe their financial life. Something like that. I also pulled 2 oracle cards for some extra advice. So first we have a card that represents the crown chakra, and it also stands for the World card in tarot. So it's a card of endings and beginnings and cycles. So I feel like you could be at the start of a cycle or at the end of a cycle, like something new is starting in your life, like maybe you've just graduated, or maybe you're thinking of a career change. It's also a card of fulfillment and completion. So particularly if there's like a career change happening in your life, I feel like this could mean that you, like this time you're looking for something that fulfills you better than what your earlier career, what your earlier jobs have done before. And it's a card of kind of knowing who you are. So I feel like you have this strong sense of self as a result of what you've been through, and as a result of growing as a person. So you just know yourself better and what you want in life. And the other oracle card that I pulled is called Imperfection. So it's a card of appreciating imperfection and not just going after like the perfect things in life. And appreciating imperfection is as a way to grow, as a way to expand. And I feel like you do have that appreciation because of your past and what you've been through. So you know that things don't have to be perfect to be worthwhile and beautiful and amazing. They can actually, like when things are imperfect, they can help you grow and let you kind of move on to new places. And it guides you to new places. So it's not a negative thing, even though in today's world I think everybody just wants to be perfect. And there's like this shame about being less than perfect. But I feel like you know how to embrace imperfection and learn from it and grow as a result of it. So, pile number 2, that was your reading. I really hope that it provided some clarity to you and that you got some advice from this reading. Okay? So, thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. You chose this piece of Moonstone, and here are your cards. Let's have a look. So the first 3 cards that I pulled represent where you are in life right now and who you are and aspects of your personality that you may not know about. So we have the Justice, King of Cups, and 8 of Cups here. Well, justice tells me that you are someone who is quite mature, fair, and ethical in your dealings. You don't judge people outright. You have this kind of like an outsider's perspective that you try to see them as a whole and kind of like where they come from instead of just judging them immediately. It can also mean that you work in the justice system or with social justice or something, or maybe your career has something to do with just having to be kind of fair and balanced all the time, or maybe working with balances like in accounting or something, or maybe you are Libra. With the King of Cups here, I feel like you are emotionally and spiritually balanced person as well. You are in touch with your emotions, but you don't get swayed by them. So I get this very mature sense of character through these two cards. This is about kind of like being internally strong, like having inner strength, and this is about like outer strength to me. So those two aspects are very balanced in you. And with the Eight of Cups, I feel like you are someone who doesn't accept mistreatment. Like you have very clear boundaries and you know whether or not something is for you, so you kind of walk away easily. Like you have, as a result of like your personality being very balanced, like having balanced judgment and kind of mature skills in recognizing your emotions, and probably like having high standards, I feel like. So it could be that you don't really tolerate drama that well. You want things to be very harmonious and balanced. So like, let's say there's something going on at work. I feel like you're like a mature person, so you would want to, like, if it's something negative, you would want to talk about it, you would want to solve it. But then if it doesn't get solved, then you have these like clear boundaries and high standards. You just like, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter like that I've worked here for a long time. It doesn't matter that I have liked working here. I just feel at this point that I want something else in my life. Like this situation is not to my satisfaction and I am ready to walk away from it. So that is the sense that I get from your personality. Next, let's look at a card that represent like possible careers and, you know, opportunities to take. Any sort of kind of places, things that you could excel in. So we have the Four of Swords here, Two of Pentacles, and again, Eight of Cups. And before I continue with the reading, I just want to say that, and I probably, like, if you watched my videos before, I've probably said this a few times already, and that's that I'm sorry about these cards being smudged. They're like black here, and when they're piled like this, like the white parts of the cards get smudged, and I always like physically try to clean them, but you know, it doesn't last for very long, so I've sort of given up on that, and I hope that it doesn't bother you too much. I still like these cards, I like using them, so yeah. Anyway, let's continue with the reading. What I said about you being like ready to walk away from something, with the Four of Swords, I feel like also like what I said about you not liking drama. You're like very no drama person, so you just want a peaceful environment to work in. You want balance and harmony. Maybe you've actually like quit a job, or you're thinking about quitting a job, And right now you're just sort of in this resting phase where you're like, you know, I want a new career, but you don't really know like which way to go yet. You just know that you want something more harmonious. Like maybe you come from a background of, I don't know, any kind of job that just requires a lot and has sort of a chaotic environment or something like that, and is not very suited to your personality. With the Two of Pentacles, this is another card just that tells me of kind of wanting balance and juggling between different perspectives. It could mean that you are good at multitasking. This King of Cups brings that element of like being able to be mature and handle different aspects of life. It could also mean considering like between two different careers, like maybe like should I leave this other career and pursue something else, or maybe just wanting to have two different careers all the same, like possibly something to do with your kind of like main livelihood, with something small like a side business on the side or something like that. With the Eight of Cups, so we have two Eights of Cups here. That really like tells me that you are walking away from something, or maybe you already walked away from something. So that's like changing careers, or maybe you moved away to another town. You built something before, like these cups represent that you've built something, but now you are walking away from it. And this is a card of like feeling emotionally unsatisfied, like despite what you've built for yourself. You're at this stage in life where you're like, okay, I have to say goodbye to all of these things and pursue something else, like possibly a new career. So like I said, you could be thinking about two different careers, like maybe that's two like new careers entirely, or is like just having something else on the side for you. And you know, since the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something, I was kind of curious about like, what are you walking towards? So I pulled two oracle cards to kind of advise where you're going. And so we have the Four of Swords, so we have two Four of Swords here, and the Two of Cups. So these cards tell me that you're really looking for an inner sanctuary and like peace and quiet in your life. I don't know if there's a career that would provide that for you, but I feel like your life purpose is just to, or maybe not even like your life purpose, but right now your priority is just to feel like you are able to kind of rest and be in peace. Like maybe there's been something has been going on in your life that has really stressed you out, and now what you want is just peace and quiet. And the Two of Cups tells me that you're looking for something with harmony, because this is a very like a good card of like despite them being, these two characters being like on an unequal footing, they're still kind of offering, there's like an equal give and take still. So it's there's a sense of harmony to it and sense of equal give and take. It's also a card of love and relationships. So maybe for some of you, maybe you moved to somewhere else to live with your partner. Maybe you were in a long distance relationship or something, and now your life is just kind of at this period of like rest and recharge, and you're just hoping to attract something new into your life, something more fulfilling, positive for yourself. I also pulled two oracle cards for some extra advice. So we have this card that represents the sacral chakra. So it's a card of emotions and passion and creation as well. So I feel like you are creating something that you are passionate about. That is what all of these cards here, these two and these two cards and this one as well, tells me that you want to feel kind of emotionally connected to your career or your purpose in life and be passionate about it. And if you don't feel that, then you are being advised to follow your emotions, follow your passions, and just be brave about creating something new for yourself. And the other card that I pulled is a card called Reawaken. So it's about reawakening something in your life, like that could be your passions and your emotions. Like I said, maybe you had a career that you weren't that happy about, so you walked away, or you are in a job that doesn't emotionally fulfill you, and now you're at this point where you have reawakened, and this new cycle is starting in your life where you just want to follow your passions and just follow what you truly feel like is meant for you in terms of career and purpose. So yeah, be very interesting to hear if this reading resonated with you, because we have a lot of like interesting cards here and like this definite theme of walking away from something and needing rest as well. But yeah, that was your reading, pile number 3. I really hope that it provided some clarity to you and that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye.